Whoa. Fucking thrash metal, dude. Yeah. That's what thrash metal is all the fuck about, ladies and gentlemen. Coverkillernation here. Concertpalooza has unfortunately reached its conclusion. That's right. The 5 shows in just under 4 weeks has now reached its inevitable end, unfortunately, and it's just been such a hellaciously awesome ride that I want to do it again. So the next time there's a cluster of shows that are going to be coming to town, kind of like what happened here, I'm definitely doing this all over again for you guys because I just had a blast. Now, of course, it's time for me to speak about the last show that was coming through town, the one that happened tonight, Killfest 2, Overkill coming along with Forbidden, Evil, Bonded by Blood, and Gamma Bomb. Wow. Yeah. I'm surprised my neck is still here, but it is. So I'm going to be able to do this review without being stationary like this the whole entire time. Yeah. Well, so it's at Diesel nightclub, so this is kind of like the Nevermore show where it's a little bit of a confined space and stuff like this can easily happen. The funny thing about it is that it's just what happens whenever you get jammed to the point where your skin almost rips off completely. I nearly lost a chunk of this finger. And this was because of the pit that happened during Overkill. I was right by a railing, actually. You're probably wondering, what's up with the fucking random railing? Well, there's a little step-up point where you can actually go up and get a little bit of a better view. It's something that's more apt for the people in the dance club, the people that just want to socialize. There's couches back there. But whenever these metal shows happen and there's a pit right there in the center, it's a very, very small, very confined space. So whenever you're right by a railing, somebody comes plowing at you and then jams your finger in between themselves, and this is a heavy motherfucker too, I will admit, and the rail, rip. You'll rip and tear, so to speak. I like that reference, and I'm going to keep on using it. But yeah, really cool experience. I really like it. I don't know. I'm a victim of, or I'm a fan of battle scars. Apparently I'm some sort of masochist, but that's cool. So, happens tonight, and the first band that was going to go on stage tonight was Bonded by Blood. They played music, there was a crowd reaction, and that's about it. Because I missed it. Yeah, this show actually, it started a little bit earlier than I thought. The reason why they do this is because, as I said, it is a nightclub. So the show happens in the evening time to the beginning of the night, and then they reset everything. That way the nightclub crowd can come. So they're actually getting 2 separate ventures of income. So it being an over 21 show, they were able to get a lot of revenue from the bar and from the initial commission to get in and all that stuff, but yeah, it's an early show because of that reason, and I missed Bonded by Blood. So if you saw him on this tour, you may know a little bit better than me, but I didn't see it, so I mean, sorry guys. The first band that I saw, and the second band that was going to go on stage, is Gamma Bomb. Gamma Bomb is an Irish product, and they are a band that is mostly in the same vein as your speed thrash that you're getting these days with your Municipal Waste and bands of the like. And they definitely kind of ring true to form. Now, this is a band that really didn't get that much of a crowd reaction. There was a couple fans up front that were just absolutely wild and crazy for this particular act, and that's really cool. They are very, very fast. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of thrash in there, which is quite apropos. I mean, it's Killfest. Come on, let's do this, guys. But I will say this, the song length's a little bit short, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. They pack all sorts of stuff into these little songs, lots of notes, but there's a lot of repetition in here. It's not that I dislike this band. I think they were a pretty decent band. They definitely got the crowd a little bit warmed up. But for me, it's just one of those things where it's an every once in a while thing. I really have a high standard whenever it comes to thrash, and this one kind of just sort of met me a little bit halfway, and that's just, it didn't really cut it for me all that much. So up next, the next band that I saw was EVILE. Now, of course, there's one of my loyal subscribers out there, Synthestrial Lee, who absolutely loves this band, really digs them, and let me tell you something, man, they did not disappoint. I got a couple great photos that I will be sharing at the end of this video, not to mention we'll be uploading to Facebook eventually. I know, I still have to upload the ones from the Dimmu show, sorry. But yeah, these guys were playing a lot of stuff off of their Infected Nations album, which of course was just reissued roughly about a month ago. So if you didn't get a chance to pick it up the first time, definitely pick up the reissue. The reissue is packed with some interesting little bonus features as well. Not to mention it's just an incredibly solid album. Live, these guys could definitely get the crowd riled up. And let me tell you, there's only, if you want to get a crowd riled up, come out sporting the jersey of the hometown sports team. They did this with the Pittsburgh Penguins. These guys are from England. I figured, if anything, they wouldn't do that, considering they even have hockey in England. I mean, I don't know. But really solid band live. love their fucking guitars, man. I have pictures of just one of the guitars. It was on some soundcheck guy, I think, but who cares? I mean, this guitar is sick looking, and so it was just a really good time. Really got to say that the crowd really kind of came alive after the EVILE set, and during, should I say, but at the end, I mean, there was just raunchous applause. A lot of people really enjoyed this band, and I think they were surprised that a lot of people knew who they were. I think they were a little skeptical of that happening because perhaps some reactions they had in other points of the states, because this wasn't exactly the beginning of the tour. This was a little bit more in the middle to the near end of this particular tour. So it's a little bit, it was a little surprising for them, which is a kind of cool experience, especially, I've never been in a band, but to think that you're up there, you don't expect anybody to know you, and then they do, it's got to be a cool thing. Forbidden was next, and let me tell you something, here's the first thing that I was surprised about, and that's the freaking screams. I mean, I knew that the screams sounded good in the studio. I have listened to Omega Wave, I've listened to Forbidden for a number of years now, but man, oh man, he can replicate those motherfuckers live. He's also a very, very large gentleman. It's one of those things where you see it in booklets or you see it on the internet and you think, maybe that's just a photograph. The camera tends to add 10 pounds or 20 or 50, I don't know, it all depends. For me, I think it actually adds about 25, but that's just a rough guesstimation. But man, oh man, he's a big boy, I'll tell you that. Really, really cool experience with Forbidden as well, because these guys absolutely had a fan base that ranged from old to young. That's the one thing about this that was really cool for me. It ranged from old to young. I really figured this would be a band that was going to be mostly an older generation full of crowd, simply because they are a band that are best known for their work in the late 80s and early 1990s. And as much as I hate to admit it, that is about 20 years ago. So, I mean, it was really cool to see that a lot of people know who Forbidden were, that were not in their 30s or 40s. A lot of people my age or even a little bit younger. Perhaps it's because of the release of their new record, Omega Wave. I don't know. However, regardless, they got a fantastic reaction, and he knows how to work a crowd. Thrash Until Death, and of course, Jealous of Blood finished off the evening. Man, oh man, love that song, and to see that live was awesome. But then it's time for the main event, the Green and Black Attack, Overkill. This is my second time seeing Overkill. I saw them first on the second incantation of the Gigantour big festival with Megadeth. And as I told you many, many times in either Blog TV or on videos, they were able to get an extended set for some strange reason at that show. And this one, they were finally able to get a full-blown out headlining act set. And that's something that really made me excited. They played a lot of stuff, ranging from old to new. Whenever you're going from the Green and Black off of your latest release, and then jumping all the way back to Rotten to the Core from one of your very first releases, Field of Fire, goddamn! And you're getting a huge breath of fresh air with this particular band still. And remember when I told you about Forbidden, how they had a lot of a wide range of fans from old to young? Holy goddamn. Old fans, new fans, young fans, hot fans. Jesus Christ, there was a chick in the mosh pit that, wow, you would kind of more expect there to be at maybe a Rihanna concert or something like that. Man, oh man, I got to give these people credit. Some hardcore motherfuckers, all for Overkill. And let me tell you, this was, as I said for Watain, I said it was almost like a religious experience, but this is just one of those thrash your fucking neck off experiences that just absolutely kicked my ass. I mean, Overkill never disappoints. Bobby Blitz is just as good live as he's ever been. Nothing has slowed this man down, and nothing will slow this man down. I think that, how people say that Ozzy should hang it up because, he can no longer do what he does for the entire breadth of the set. If you're one of those types of people that are going to defend Ozzy and be like, he's a metal legend, he should blah, 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 go to an Overkill show and look at Bobby Blitz Ellsworth. Listen to what he has done, what he's still doing after more than 30 years. Now, I understand Ozzy started back in 68. Overkill started in 1980, roughly, one of the very first thrash bands. So, Killfest, come on! But, let me tell you, what he's doing, the strain he's putting on his voice is more impressive than what Ozzy's doing with his voice over the breadth of his career. Just my opinion, but, okay, it's not really my opinion, it's just fucking true. Amazing show, fantastic response by the audience, and you might be wondering, where's the fucking shirt? Well, I kind of owe Overkill a shirt, because sometimes you just lapse your judgment and you lapse your mind and you just don't think. That's exactly what happened. I walked right out, I got into my car, I'm driving away, I'm like, fuck! I gotta buy a fucking shirt! So, unfortunately, Concertpalooza is not totally complete until I go online and get a shirt. Anyways, guys, I want to thank all the bands out there for coming through Pittsburgh. All the ones that I reviewed, including the ones that I maybe didn't like, such as Storm King, and including Bonded by Blood, of course, who I was not able to review considering I got there a little late. You guys are all fantastic. You guys are all awesome. Looking forward to seeing you guys the next time you guys all stroll into town. Hey! Bands, come to Pittsburgh. Why? Because coverkillernation will review your show, and will review it in detail. Tell you if you suck or if you're awesome. Put those fucking horns up, motherfuckers! Thanks again. Here come the pictures.